Rain, rain and more rain. G'day to all you lovely people and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kathy and today I'm going to tell you what I got up to in November. I have to apologise for any sounds you might hear because I'm outdoors and my stupid split system keeps making noise even though it's off. I don't know why. Anyway, so November. Well, it has been raining almost continuously throughout this month, which is very unusual for Melbourne. In fact, this whole spring has been unusual. Most of us are really fed up because we feel like we haven't really gotten to enjoy spring all that much. It's only been the last few days that it has been beautiful and warm and sunny, and it's like, oh, where has this weather been? And of course, then we have the people who deny climate change, right? And if it wasn't enough that it was wet, it was actually cold as well. I was wearing winter woolies until last week. Crazy, isn't it? But it's true. Really, it has only been the last few days that have been beautiful and pleasant and warm and sunny, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. I'm spending a lot of time outdoors now, looking after my outdoor plants, watering them, pruning, doing things like that. I was intending to go to the Botanic Gardens with my cousin a few weeks ago. In fact, we tried twice, 2 weekends, and both times it was rained out. But hopefully it won't rain on Sunday because we're going on Sunday and I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Botanic Gardens again, especially now when everything is just growing like crazy in Melbourne. It hasn't really gotten extremely hot, so the plants are very, very happy. It does change though towards the end of summer. By then everything is looking very tired. So I suspect that the gardens are going to look very different to the last time I went. What else have I done? I saw my cousin Stacey. Hi Stacey. Yes, we had lunch together, which was wonderful. I haven't been able to see her in a while. I saw my brother Chris, who came over and spent the evening with me. I saw my mum. It was actually the anniversary of my older brother's death not that long ago, and I went to visit the cemetery and then had lunch with my mum and my brother, which was really nice because we haven't been able to see each other for several months due to lockdown. I can't complain about being out of lockdown. It is wonderful. But I haven't really felt this pressing urge to go and do lots and lots of things. I'm taking it slow. Maybe that isn't a bad thing because coronavirus is still around, right? And now this new strain has been announced, the Omicron, I think. But in Victoria, the state that I live, we have now reached 90% fully vaccinated for those aged 12 and over, which is amazing. Which also gives us a bit more peace of mind, I think. I think for Australia itself, it's around 86% that are fully vaccinated, I think. I can't be sure, but it's roughly around that. I'm not going to talk about those who refuse to get vaccinated because I already have, but there have been some protests in relation to vaccine mandates. People are required to get vaccinated in certain jobs. We're also supposed to be vaccinated if we go to different places in Melbourne, and people are protesting about it, which I guess isn't surprising. I'm actually a person who doesn't like our personal freedoms curtailed, but this isn't simply to stop us doing things. This is to protect those who are vulnerable to COVID, and I find it ridiculous that people make such a big deal about these mandates. It's not like we live in a society where we aren't strictly regulated anyway in so many different ways. I don't want to go into that because I always seem to rant about something, but I must admit I just find it ludicrous that people are so up in arms about this freedom and yet they don't say boo about other freedoms that have been curtailed. And let's be honest, we're not talking about people being chucked into jail because they're breaking the law. No, we're talking about trying to protect our vulnerable. So what else has been going on? I went to the cinemas. I can't remember the last time I went, probably 2 years ago. Went with my best friend and we saw the new James Bond film because there really wasn't a lot of films out. I suspect there'll be a lot more around the Christmas holidays time because there always is. There is a new Matrix coming out, which I didn't know, so I want to see that, that's for sure. Bond was okay, I didn't love it, and yet I really liked the first few with Daniel Craig, and I really liked the last one too, I think. But it's been a while, I have to rewatch them. And what else? November. Oh yes, I got my new computer. I'll show you a photo of it because it is a beast and I love it. I even called it a beast because it is so cool. Yeah, I am just loving this new computer. It is amazing. It is so fast. I just can't get over it. It blew my mind actually several times when I was rendering a video for YouTube. This new computer takes less than a quarter of the time, and I am not exaggerating. I was just flabbergasted. I could not believe it. And it's not just with video editing, it is so fast with everything. I'm loving it. It took me about a week or so to get it up and running the way I wanted it, and I haven't reinstalled everything. I'm deciding whether I want to try new software. It's an opportunity, right? Since it's a new computer. It has tempted me to start playing games again, which I haven't done in years. So I installed some games and lately I have been hooked up playing a few games. So that keeps me busy. And what else have I been doing? I have hardly watched anything on TV. In fact, I haven't even opened the TV in days, which is very unusual. I usually have it on, I usually knit, watch something. I'm not knitting. For some reason, I'm still not in the mood to knit. I watched a bit of YouTube, very, very few and far between, because I'm just not in the mood. Not even movies, actually. Strange, isn't it? Sometimes I watch movies every night and then at the moment I'm not interested. So what I have been doing, of course, is reading every single night. I had started, I think I told you, the Death Gate Cycle by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman. I loved the first book. I did not like the second one. It has been a long time since I've read it, and I can't remember if I liked it previously. I know they get better, but I thought I'd take a bit of a break and I was in the mood for Agatha Christie. So I started reading the Hercule Poirot series, and I decided, no, I'm going to read the Miss Marples because I love the Poirot books more than the Marple ones. I thought I'll read a couple and then I'll get back to my fantasy. Yeah, 15 books later, I am still on Agatha Christie. I can't stop reading her. I am absolutely loving them. It has been over 40 years since I've read them. And that's the thing with murder mysteries, because you know who did it. I don't find them as appealing, but it's been so long I don't remember them. So I'm really loving the Agatha Christies at the moment. I also finished the Slaughterhouse 5 book by Kurt Vonnegut. I know I got that wrong. And when I was having lunch with my cousin, we were talking about books and she inspired me to pick up Crime and Punishment. And I read that by Dostoevsky. I've never read it and I really enjoyed it. And I want to read more actually by him as well as other Russian authors and really just classics in general. If I get tired of the Agatha Christies, because I really don't know if I'm going to want to read all of them or I want a break, I'll go back to the Death Gate Cycle and I'll finish that. So that really has been what I've been doing mostly, reading. and I'm loving it. Yeah, I don't know how long it'll last, but I'll enjoy it while it does. Because there's always something to watch on television, right? There's always movies, there's always TV shows. At the moment though, I'm just not inspired to watch anything. The other thing I've been doing, of course, is looking after my plants, indoors and outdoors. I'm not actually going to talk too much about my indoor plants because I just brought out my houseplant tour, which gives you a summary of how my plants are doing. Today, however, I found spider mites on my Syngonia. Yeah, and I think it was last week or the week before I found spider mites on my Shiveriana. So yeah, unfortunately that is stunting their growth. I might even lose them, I don't know. Hopefully not. Luckily, I don't seem to find spider mites everywhere because I do check the plants around. Though I haven't today, I must do that. But yeah, it doesn't seem to spread to too many. Generally, the mites seem to attack any plant that isn't doing the best. That is always so frustrating when that happens, isn't it? It's unfortunately the price we pay for having plants indoors. Oh, I've been to Bunnings. Of course I did, right? Because I am addicted to plants and I love my garden and I love my indoor plants. I was really going though for my garden, not so much for indoor plants. And to be honest, I find I'm not that tempted to buy new plants. Well, I am and I'm not. Like, I always want more plants, but I'm very selective now as to what I do buy. Not necessarily a bad thing. I definitely found I have not spent as much on plants this year. And not because of any monetary reasons, but that I do feel I have enough plants. I only bought some outdoor plants for my garden as certain things didn't survive the winter. I'm still figuring out what will grow in a particular spot and what won't. And I also bought some annuals like petunias and marigolds because I wanted to do a couple of big pots. What I've been doing a lot of is checking if my plants need repotting. I have been dividing things. I just cut up all my coleuses and my Crashula Diane because I wanted to put them in different pots. And I've got some outdoors, I've got some indoors. I've been doing a lot of gardening outdoors. When I went to Bunnings a week or so ago, we bought some annuals, some seedlings actually, a lot of seedlings. And we planted them in pots and I've had to repot some of my outdoor plants like my China doll, my Miss Fussy, who hates living indoors but does beautifully outside. She needed a bigger pot because she kept getting blown over. Every time there was a bit of wind, she would just fall over. So we put her in a much bigger pot and hopefully she'll be a lot happier in that. And she won't fall over as much either. I've also been putting all my herbs in larger pots. They were very restricted in little pots. I thought it was time to just put them in a large pot and let them go crazy, which they are. So really, that's what I've been doing a lot of. Well, when I say a lot of, I mean in the last week or so, because up to now it has not been very pleasant weather. I will show you guys my garden, but I won't do a full garden tour until next year. We are now in summer, though it doesn't really feel like it yet. And I know I'm going to be spending a lot more time out here. I'm really keen to do more repotting. I want to rearrange my succulents. I want to make my terrarium finally, and I'm sure I will just be sitting out here and enjoying beautiful warm weather like this. But who knows, we'll probably get a 40-degree day soon, and then it'll be way too hot to be out here. Regardless, I'm not complaining. As long as it's sunny, as long as I can wear summer clothes. God, I miss wearing summer clothes, then I will not mind the occasional hot day. Well, that is what I have been doing in November. I don't lead a very busy social life. I do, however, love catching up with friends and family, and it's just so nice to be able to do that now. And of course, with December, which I dislike because it is just a mad rush for Christmas, and there's just too many people everywhere, and there's just so much advertising about Christmas that I don't really enjoy December all that much because I don't celebrate Christmas. The only thing I like about it is spending time with my family and friends. But I may go to a nursery, though I know I will come back with something because I can't help myself, but that's okay. Sometimes things die and I'm quite happy to replace it with something else. Yeah, I know for most of you who live in the Northern Hemisphere, you're going into winter, but there is a charm to winter as well, isn't there? Well, I think so anyway. Now, for those who are interested, I have pretty much already got all the videos set up for the rest of the year. I'm not going to be doing any 12 days of Christmas or anything like that, and I'll probably take about a week off between Christmas and New Year, somewhere around there. Though you guys may not notice because I honestly have so many videos to bring out that I just don't know when I can bring them all out. But I'll do my best. I definitely also have a lot more plant content now. Yeah, I didn't have hardly anything in winter without talking about fluff all the time. But now there are things that I'm doing which I hope you guys might find interesting. Let me know what you guys got up to in November. I always want to hear. And you can put it down in the comments or you can contact me on Instagram. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. I hope this wasn't too boring. Sometimes I feel my life isn't all that interesting, though I like it. Anyway, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing to my channel as it helps my channel to grow. I hope you all have a beautiful day and I will see you next time. Bye.